G'day, you legends! Welcome back to the channel, the heartbeat of the red and white, where we bleed the Bloods culture and live for the weekend footy. Today, we aren't just talking about the big dance at the SCG or the superstars with the number on their backs. Nah, mate. Today, we are digging into the soil, down to the roots, where the future premiership heroes are born. We're heading up the highway to the North Coast, a place that is rapidly becoming a sheer goldmine for the Sydney Swans. Listen to this, it's absolutely massive. We are talking about a record-breaking intake. The pipeline is overflowing. The Sydney Swans Academy has just dropped its squad list for 2026 involving the AFL North Coast Juniors, and the numbers are staggering. We've got 52 young guns, 52 from the region getting the nod. That's up from 45 last year. We are witnessing a takeover, a surge of talent that proves the game is exploding in New South Wales. These kids aren't just making up the numbers, they are the next generation of Heenies, Mills and Gouldens. So grab a cold one, settle in, and let's break down exactly who these young weapons are and what this means for the future of our great club. This is the future of the Swans, right here, right now. Let's get stuck in.
Righto, let's set the scene properly. Because if you don't understand the machinery behind this, you don't understand why the Sydney Swans have remained competitive for so long. The QBE Sydney Swans Academy isn't just a Saturday morning runaround. It is arguably the most sophisticated talent identification and development program in Australian sport. Established back in 2010, this thing was built with a singular purpose: to increase the footprint of Aussie rules in NSW and to find elite talent in places where rugby league usually dominates. And let me tell you, on the North Coast, they are kicking goals, literally and metaphorically. When we talk about 52 players selected for the 2026 squads, we have to look at the trajectory. Last year it was 45. That might seem like a small jump on paper, but in the world of elite development, a nearly 16% increase is massive. It means the depth of talent is improving. It means the local clubs, the Magpies, the Breakers, the Saints, are doing a phenomenal job at the grassroots level, preparing these kids to step into a professional environment. And make no mistake, the academy is professional. We're talking about age-appropriate programs for boys and girls aged 11 to 19 that mirror the standards of the senior list. The academy trains up to 700 players a year across the state. It's a beast. But why is the North Coast specifically so important? You look at the geography. From Port Macquarie up to Coffs Harbour and beyond, you've got athletes who are naturally gifted, tough and hungry. The academy gives them that expert AFL knowledge, the tactical nous, the skills execution, the dietary advice, the strength and conditioning that transforms a good local player into an AFL draft prospect. It's about bridging that gap between country footy and the bright lights of the SCG. We saw this in action recently in Coffs Harbour. The academy members got to rub shoulders with the AFLW players and coaches during a captain's run. Just imagine being a 12-year-old kid obsessed with the Swans, and you're standing there watching the elite women prepare for a game, realising I'm in the same system as them. That psychological boost is priceless. It creates a pathway that feels tangible. It's not a dream anymore, it's a plan. And let's be honest, the Swans Academy has nurtured some absolute freaks of the game. We all know the names, but what we are seeing now is the next wave. This isn't just about finding one superstar, it's about raising the floor of the entire competition in NSW. By injecting 52 highly trained juniors back into the AFL North Coast local leagues on the weekends, the standard of those local games goes through the roof. It's a symbiotic relationship. The academy needs the local clubs, and the local clubs benefit from the academy's elite standards filtering back down. The commitment required from these families cannot be understated either. Being selected is the easy part, doing the work is the hard yakka. We're talking about parents driving hours for training sessions, weekends consumed by travel, the financial commitment, the early mornings. To see 52 families from the North Coast commit to this pathway shows that the passion for the Swans and for Aussie rules is at an all-time high in the region. This is a stronghold now. The Barasay line is being erased, one academy selection at a time. This is about building a culture of excellence that stretches hundreds of kilometres north of Sydney. It's the Bloods culture, expanding its territory.
Now, let's get into the nitty-gritty. Let's talk about the lads. The boys' squads for 2026 are looking absolutely stacked. And when you break it down by club and age group, some fascinating narratives start to emerge. It's not just a list of names, it's a map of where the power lies in North Coast footy. Starting with the babies of the bunch, the under-11s, this is the entry point. This is where the dream starts. You've got Zeke Boulay from the Port Macquarie Magpies, Arlo Birkinshaw from the Nambucca Valley Lions, Aubrey Dixon from the Northern Beaches Blues, and Ace McGregor from the Lower Clarence Suns. 4 kids, 4 different clubs. That spread is vital. It shows that talent isn't concentrated in one postcode. It's coming from the valleys, the beaches and the river towns. Moving up to the under-12s, we see the Port Macquarie Magpies starting to flex their muscles with Xavier Upston, joined by Edward Eppes from the Suns, Eli Fernie from Sawtell Taormina, and George Lake representing the Coffs Harbour Breakers. Keep an eye on that Magpies contingent. As we go up the age groups, you'll notice Port Macquarie is turning into an absolute factory for talent. The under-13s is where things start to get really interesting physically. You've got a bigger group here. Chase Allen from the Blues, Bo Lill, another Magpie, Albie Lindsay from the Saints, Ashton Miller from the Suns, and Matthew Welsh from the Breakers. It's a solid mix. These kids are entering that phase where skills acquisition is critical. If they can nail the fundamentals now under the academy coaches, they are set for life. But mate, look at the under-14s. This is a battalion. This is the biggest single age group intake for the boys, and it is dominated by one club, the Port Macquarie Magpies. Just listen to this roll call from the Magpies alone. Noah Bates, Mason Emling, Henry Fryer, Jack Morris and Blair Sibarani. That is 5 players from one club in one age group. That is absurd. The coaching staff down at Port Macquarie must be doing something incredibly right. They are practically feeding the academy directly. But they aren't alone. Oscar Churton is there flying the flag for Lower Clarence, and Desire Masters Nutai is representing a joint effort from Macleay Valley Eagles and Nambucca Valley Lions. That's great to see. Collaboration between clubs to get a kid noticed. The under-15s keeps the momentum going. Again, the Magpies are heavy hitters here with Sam Dicker, Xavier Matt and Taj Upston. But don't sleep on the Northern Beaches Blues. Sonny Dusting and Jackson Sirakowski are in the mix, and Clancy Tune from Sawtell Taormina Saints. At 15, the game starts to get faster, harder. These boys are now on the radar for future draft combines if they stick with it. Then we hit the business end, the under-16s, 17s and 18s. The numbers naturally thin out here, the funnel gets narrower. It's survival of the fittest. In the U16s, Finley Campbell, Nambucca, and Zane Guthrie, Coffs Breakers, are the last men standing for their age group. In the U17s, we've got Thomas Eppes, Blues, Duke Marshall-Orr, a dual club player for Coffs/Northern Beaches, and Edward Redfern from the Magpies. And finally, the under-18s, the draft year adjacent. Isaac Luke from the Port Macquarie Magpies, one bloke carrying the torch for the entire region in the top age bracket. That is a massive achievement for Isaac. To survive the cuts year after year, to keep developing when everyone else falls away, that shows true grit. He is the pinnacle of this year's North Coast intake for the boys. All eyes will be on his development over the next 12 months. What stands out here is the dominance of the Port Macquarie Magpies. They are clearly the powerhouse of junior development in the region right now. But seeing the spread from Lower Clarence to Nambucca Valley shows that the net is being cast wide. Every one of these boys has the chance to wear the red and white for real one day. It's a long road, but they've just taken the first major step.
But hold your horses, because we are not done yet. If you think the boys are the only story, you haven't been paying attention to the explosion of women's football. The AFLW is growing at a rate of knots, and the Swans Academy is at the forefront of ensuring our women's team has a steady stream of homegrown talent. The selection for the girls' squads is just as impressive, and arguably the growth potential here is even higher. Let's look at the pathway for the girls. It starts at the under-12s with Jane Masters Nutai, Macleay Nambucca and Violet Travail from the Magpies. Just like the boys, Port Macquarie's present, but it's great to see the Nambucca region producing young female talent so early. In the under-13s, we see the footprint expand to the Southwest Rocks Dockers, with Ella Cronin getting selected, alongside Vala Parsons, Blues, and Emily Carson, Magpies. Southwest Rocks is a small community, mate, so getting a player into the Elite Academy is a massive badge of honour for that town. It shows you don't have to play in the big city to get noticed if you've got the talent. The under-14s is a really strong group. We've got Lexi Finley, Blues, Mireille Marshall, Southwest Rocks again, Willow Matthews, Sawaltel Taormina, and Elliot Munpower from the North Coffs Kangaroos. Seeing the Kangaroos on the list is brilliant. It adds another club to the mix. The diversity of clubs represented in the girls' squads is actually better than the boys. It feels like the talent is more evenly spread across the region, which is a healthy sign for the competition as a whole. Now check out the under-15s. This is a serious squad. Reese Legend and Josephine Tate from Nambucca Valley Lions. 2 girls from the same club. That's a strong partnership. Then you have Harper Skinner and Hayley Woods from Sawaltel Taormina Saints and Zoe Tarlington from Coffs Breakers. The Saints and the Lions are clearly doing great work with their teenage girls programs. At 15, these girls are entering the prime development years where athleticism meets tactical understanding. The under-16 sees the Port Macquarie Magpies reassert their dominance. Gia Hudson, Ruby Luke and Grace Morris, all from the Magpies, joined by Chloe Murphy from the Saints.
3 Magpies in one squad. It's a dynasty in the making down there. It mirrors the boys' U14 dominance. Whatever they are putting in the water at Port Macquarie, it's working. In the under-17s, Annalise Crayley stands tall representing the Coffs Harbour Breakers. Being the sole selection in that age group puts a bit of pressure on, but it also highlights her quality. She's elite. And then the big one, the under-19s. This is the doorstep of the AFLW. Amaya Wayne from Bellingen Bulldogs Sowell-Tell Tormina Saints. She is right there. At this age, you are training to be drafted. You are playing against women. The intensity is real. For Amaya to be selected in the under-19 academy squad means the Swan Scouts see genuine AFLW potential in her. She represents the Bellingen and Sowell-Tell communities, and you can bet your bottom dollar the whole region will be behind her pushing for a spot on the senior list. This focus on the girls is crucial. The Swans AFLW team is building a culture, and they need players who understand the Bloods ethos from a young age. By bringing these girls into the academy at 12 and 13, by the time they're 18, they will be fully formed Swans players. They'll know the game plan, the structures, and the standards. It's an investment in the next decade of success. The impact of this cannot be overstated. When these girls go back to their local clubs, to the Dockers, the Lions, the Saints, they bring back elite habits. They show the other girls what is possible. It raises the standard of the entire AFL North Coast female competition. We are building a powerhouse region, mates.
So, what's the verdict? It's pretty bloody clear. The state of the game on the North Coast is stronger than ever. 52 players, 52 families committed to the journey. A record-breaking intake that signals a golden era for talent identification in our region. From the little tackers in the under-11s just pulling on the boots, to Isaac Luke and Amaya Wayne knocking on the door of the big leagues in the U18s and U19s, this list represents hope. It represents hard work, and it represents the undeniable fact that the Sydney Swans are the team for all of NSW. A massive shout out to the local clubs, especially the Port Macquarie Magpies for their incredible numbers, but also to every club from Southwest Rocks to the Northern Beaches. You are the engine room. You are the ones doing the heavy lifting on cold Tuesday nights at training. This achievement belongs to the coaches and volunteers just as much as the players. And let's not forget the independent press keeping us informed. This news comes to us thanks to the hard work of local journos like Aidan Burgess. Support your local papers, mates. They tell the stories that matter. Keep your eyes on these names. In 5 or 6 years, when you're watching the Swans run out at the SCG or North Sydney Oval, don't be surprised if you hear a few of these names called out by the commentators. The future is bright, the future is red and white, and the future is coming from the North Coast. Cheer, cheer the red and the white. See you next time.